President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Currently, remember, he's in the Maldives. He'd fled over there in the early hours of the morning yesterday from Sri Lanka. Now we're learning he's asked the Maldivian government to arrange a private jet to fly him to Singapore. Reports had earlier suggested that he tried to reach Singapore last night. Now we're learning that he's been trying since yesterday. My colleague Purnima first was with us live from Sri Lanka to bring us more of an update over here. Purnima, could you tell us more over here? We're learning that he was attempting to flee yesterday itself to Singapore. What prevented that from happening?
Well, in fact, sources say that he was planning to go to another South Asian country and then submit his resignation. The speaker 3 to 4 times in the last 3 days has maintained that Gotabaya Rajapaksa will resign as promised, which is on the 13th of July. And now the speaker says that he still hasn't yet received President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's resignation. President was reportedly all set to go to Singapore in the 11:55 p.m. flight, but he's now reportedly asked the Maldivian government to ensure that they arrange a private jet for him to leave Maldives because of the ire that he has been facing. There were protests at Maldives also by Sri Lankans when he reached Maldives. People gathered there and they were also raising slogans against Gotabaya. So now he wants to ensure that he leaves to a safer destination and then announces his resignation. We'll have to wait and see whether he is able to go to another South Asian country today. Only then will the resignation happen is what sources tell us. But all eyes on whether he will be able to go to another country from Maldives today and whether the resignation letter will be out. So as of now, no resignation letters, and people here are angry because it's getting delayed. They wanted to celebrate yesterday, but that did not happen. They waited till midnight, hoping that they received some news, but they didn't. And they were protesting throughout the midnight and also in the wee hours against Gotabaya Rajapaksa because the resignation did not happen. And now there are protesters who've gone back to their respective tents to take some rest and then come back. But at the moment, looks like Gotabaya Rajapaksa he will take some more time to formally announce his resignation. That's what it looks like at this point in time.
Okay, Purnima, thank you for those updates. Stay with us, please. I want to now go back to our foreign correspondent Abhishek Jha also to get more context. Abhishek, if you could just tell our audiences over here, what does it usually mean when a country opens its arms to a fleeing president? For example, over here where we're seeing, it seems that the Singapore authorities also have given a go-ahead for President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to land there.
There is a context why Rajapaksa has chosen Maldives. It is believed that Mohammad Nasheed, who is the current speaker of the Maldivian parliament and who has been president in the past for like a very long period, for like almost 8 years, was sent to almost a self-imposed exile in Sri Lanka for a very long time during the ruling of Muhammad Yamin. And he has tried to do all his political activities and in fact the joint opposition that won the Maldivian general election in 2018 were mainly headquartered in Sri Lanka. So while living in Sri Lanka, Mohammad Nasheed has a very good camaraderie with all political parties and all political leaders in Sri Lanka, and this is where this bonhomie between Rajapaksa and Nasheed grows, and probably this is the reason why Rajapaksa could find a stopover in the name of Maldives, where it was apparently believed that Mohammad Nasheed was there at the airport to receive him when the Rajapaksa's plane landed at 3 a.m. in the morning. So probably this is the reason why Rajapaksa could find a safe refuge in Maldives, maybe for a brief period of time. And also from there, the first priority of Rajapaksa was to leave Sri Lanka because it was told that he was not allowed to leave the Sri Lankan territory. At the airports, people stopped him. Immigration authority did not allow them to board commercial plane. So the president and his family members having difficulty in leaving the country where they were in the eye of a storm. But leaving the country on an official Air Force plane was probably the only option for Rajapaksa, because as an acting president, as a president on paper, he could ask the Air Force to provide them a safe passage or safe plane to travel to another country. And probably this is how Maldivians also received him. But then Maldivians, there is a growing anger among the people, among the political class in Maldives, where also the opposition leaders are trying to move a resolution in the parliament of Maldives, that is in Majlis, as to how and why Rajapaksa were allowed to take a refuge, have a refuge in Maldives. So this is again a situation Maldivian political party would not like to have, because the next year there is going to be an election, and they would not like to have a person of non grata in their country as long as they can ask them to leave the country as soon as possible.
All right. Abhishek, thank you so much for that context.